what makes you different from the rest? Because
I just think about what I'm grateful for in my life. I focus on what's good in my life. I focus on the fact that I've got clothes on my back, the fact that I'm awake. I just know where I'm going. If I'm miserable and I'm not on my A game, that direction and where I'm trying to get to, I'm not going to be able to achieve it. It's almost like you're going to condition your mind. If your mind's like conditioned, there could be an opportunity right in front of you, but you can't see it. I feel like, you know what, the way I see it is nothing's going to stop me from getting to where I want to get to my destination.
welcome to another podcast from me, Ste Hamilton, and today is a different type of guest. We had Charlotte Edwards on last week, the accidental female developer. We don't have a female on this week, but we do have someone who is very, very interested in what they do. So please take it away with an introduction.
Hi guys. Firstly, thanks Steve for inviting me on.
You're
here.
welcome.
Pleasure to be here. So yeah, my name is Shaun Davis. I've got a property investment company. We're based in Wolverhampton. I'm a dad of two, property entrepreneur, property investor, and I'm also a drummer as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I have no notes about you being a drummer. Where does that come from?
Oh, from like childhood. I've been playing for about 20 years.
So you can do it.
Yeah.
So you're not just one of them that just sits there just banging away. You actually have rhythm.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you do anything with it, or is it just like a hobby?
Yeah, I do. I play in church. I also do a lot of gigs as well. Parties, weddings, corporate events. things
Really?
Like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So that's what I do in my spare time.
Every day. It's a bit different from property, isn't it?
Yeah, oh man. It's actually like therapy for me. It's a stress reliever. Like when I'm on the drums, I'm not thinking about work or anything else. I'm just thinking of just getting through the song. So it's good, man.
Well, one of the things I was going to talk to you about today was stress.
Yeah.
So you've literally just answered. I was going to say, well, how do you deal with stress? Because obviously in your industry, which is practically the same industry,
Yeah.
but just different strategies, you have a lot of stress.
100%.
So is there anything else you do to relieve a bit of stress?
I do a lot of cycling. So I like going to the gym, but I find like cycling is the best. Like I started cycling in lockdown actually. Obviously we couldn't go out, gyms were closed. I thought, what else can we do? And we started like a little cycling club, and it's been amazing. Like really got into it now. But I find that cycling is different. When I'm at the gym, I find that I'm still checking my phone in between like reps and things like that and team sets. But when you're cycling, you're just thinking, I need to get through it.
Yeah.
And we ride in like a group as well, so it's quite competitive. You don't want to come last.
Well, I'm going to go on a rant here.
Yeah.
Because I live in a tiny little village and I hate cyclists. They are the bane of my life. And you know how you just said you go out in a little group? 10 of them will be in front of me in the whole lane and I'm stuck behind them. It's like being behind tractors. It's another problem of mine in life. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. It's not the worst problem in the world to have, but they are the bane of my life. But they are super fit. Some of these hills and stuff by me that I see, I'm like,
Unreal.
wow. And then I was going down a hill 2 days ago going home and I was doing about 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The bike was literally right next to me. I was like, well, you're crazy, you are.
Yeah, man.
But, so it's a stress reliever for you, that is.
Oh, massive stress reliever.
Explain your day-to-day life and what you do in property, please.
Okay. So there's a property strategy called Rent2Rent. We started just under 4 years ago. Originally we was doing, in fact, not originally, we still do it now. We still do the work professional. That is actually the bulk of our portfolio. We've got about 160 rooms now that we let out. And just over a year ago, decided that we wanted to pivot into supported accommodation. So that's what we did. It's pivoted in supported accommodation. We help the homeless, we house the homeless, and also we work with people with mental health issues. So something I'm very passionate about. Everyone suffers with mental health in some way, shape, or form. It's that of people triggers, and it's on a deeper level. And because I'm very into my mindset, it's perfect. And it's nice that we've genuinely changed people's lives, and people have come on sometimes suicidal, sometimes they've got depression to a very high level, and they've moved on. They've been able to move on. They've moved on with their life. They've got jobs. They're doing now in private accommodation. So yeah, it's very rewarding.
I've met you a couple of times now. You are seriously positive. I've never actually seen you without a smile on your face. You're sitting there with a smile on your face right now. You're seriously positive. You're always smiling. You always support.
Yeah.
You message me all the time. We always have little bits and pieces. I'm actually going to go in and explain something that you messaged that you sent me the other day.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that in a minute. But how do you keep that mindset? Because your job is stressful.
Extremely.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, on a whole different level of stress.
Yeah.
How do you keep that mindset? What makes you different from the rest? Because a lot of people don't smile as much as you. And I'm not saying it's good to mask it. But when you do have a problem, it's good to be able to just deal with it
100%.
and get on with it instead of making it a problem and telling everybody about it. What makes you different? Why are you always like this?
I just think about what I'm grateful for in my life. Every day I wake up and gratitude. It's so important. Everyone, we've all got issues, we've all got problems, but the issue is if you focus on them problems, you can't move on from it. I focus on what's good in my life. I focus the fact that I've got clothes on my back, the fact that I'm awake. I woke up today, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I've got my family around me. That means the world to me, and that's what I focus on. Also, as well, I'm very driven and very what's the word? I just know where I'm going.
You obsessed?
Oh yeah, massively.
Okay.
Massively obsessed. So the way I see it is that if I'm miserable and I'm not on my A game, that direction and the way I'm trying to get to, I'm not gonna be able to achieve it because I can't see. It's almost like you're gonna condition your mind. If your mind's not conditioned, there could be an opportunity right in front of you, but you can't see it because you're so busy being like, negative and depressed and things like that. So I feel like, the way I see it is nothing's gonna stop me from getting to where I want to get to my destination.
And your negativity, if you had some, would filter through to your staff members, wouldn't it?
Massively, yeah.
So you
That's
have
another reason as well.
A core team, your power team.
Yeah.
Explain your team, please, who they are and what they do.
Yeah, so we've got head of operations, Tariq. He manages the whole of the business, which is really, really, really helpful because managing tenants, what we do, it's very stressful. With HMOs, you've obviously got to manage the property, but you've also got to manage the tenants, and that has its own issues in itself as well. So there's no way I could do it by myself. We've got Jordan, who does the digital marketing as well, because we've got a couple of businesses. We've got a high performance academy as well, which we help people elevate their mind, health and wealth through that. We've also got Morgan, who does like a sales consultant as well, so he's like an in-house. We've got a full-time cleaner as well, so yeah.
So how do you manage that? How explain it to me, because we have, obviously you see what we have here. How do you manage it? Do you find it easy? Do you find it hard? Is it just organisation, or is it off the cuff?
It's hard. It's very hard actually. It's hard. You've got to stay onto them. You've got to keep them motivated, but also you've got to ensure that you find out what's most important to them. Because I feel like a lot of people, I've had bosses in the past where it's like, you work for me, and I feel like that's probably the worst thing you could say. Because when you act like that with someone, it's like they start being rebellious. Whereas if you make them feel like, they're part of the vision, and all my staff know that actually you're part of the vision. And I feel like the key thing is when I employ staff, I make them know that this isn't a 9 to 5. If you're coming in here, I think it's a 9 to 5, you're coming in with the wrong mindset. And a 9 to 5 mindset, it sort of gives, it almost creates a limited mindset, I think. Whereas if you're coming in here and thinking, okay, right, you almost like see your boss as a client. Like as business owners, I look at my clients and think, okay, how can I give extra value to my clients? If your employees think the same way about you, if my employees think the same about me, I'm their client, how can I give more value to Shaun or Steve? You know what I mean?
Great way to look at it.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, guess what? I have no worries then of paying them extra because they're bringing value to the business. And you see it so many times. Like, I went to somewhere I worked years ago, and there's people that were working there that were there like 10 years ago, for instance, and they were still complaining, saying, oh, I haven't had a pay rise in how many years. But then I felt like saying, well, what have you done differently? Because the reality is your boss is not going to turn around and say to you, oh yeah, here's a pay rise. But if you can give more value to the business, then of course it makes sense.
Well, I have the best team in my eyes. Like probably you presume that your team is the best. My team, these guys here, everybody around us, I genuinely believe we have the greatest team ever. And that's why I think we can elevate as well. Yeah. Because they know we appreciate them.
Exactly. And it's a massive.
We massively appreciate all the people around us.
Yeah.
We
it's big.
Sometimes we do have a bit of,
of course, yeah.
You have to have that as well.
Yeah.
Because some days people can not do as much, or but I understand it. And we do still have that structure where we're like, guys, come on, pull it out. Or they even come to me and say, Steve, you said you're going to do this and you haven't done it. Because a lot of what our team have to do depends on our routine as well, to be fair. So it's give and take. But we massively appreciate our people here. It's so very, very important. And we never say they work for us, they say we work with us.
Exactly. That's the same thing I say.
Because everybody sees this property circle and they're like, oh my God, it's amazing, it's unbelievable. And my Isabella doesn't come on the camera ever, so she gets overlooked, and she's the reason that all this happens as well. And they say, Steve, you're doing an amazing job, and I'm like, no, it's the whole of us, because without I'm just the one you see. We all have an equal input into what we do. So I think it's very important to be appreciative of the people you have around you, and they'll work a lot harder. Growing up, property always the dream, or was it not?
No,
or
not
did
at
you want
all.
to be a drummer?
I wanted to be a drummer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my dream. So the mad thing is, I wasn't in property from 2018. That's when it all started for me. I was actually in car sales.
Okay.
Yes, I worked for BMW. It was really good. I was earning decent money. I was one of the top sales guys there. But the issue was I had to be there to earn the money. It's like car sales. It's quite good actually, but it's a long hours, and it's not good for families. I've got 2 kids as well. So I went to Miami in 2018, and then I came back. I was so, like I always say to people, like when you travel, it gives you like a different perspective, man. Yeah, different cultures, different way of living. It just really inspired me. And then I just came back and said, you know what, I want to work for myself. My dad's got a couple of businesses, a few businesses as well. Yeah, so that sort of gave me the motivation to see that I've seen where he's come from, I've seen where he is now. So it gave me the motivation to say, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Massive inspiration then.
Yeah, massive. Yeah, my biggest
Is he your
inspiration.
role model?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
above everybody.
Yeah, because to put things in perspective, and it was mad because it was their 27th wedding anniversary.
I know, that's why you couldn't come on Saturday to the event as well. You messaged me.
And I was saying this in my speech to show a perspective of where we're coming from. When I was born, and there's a similar situation to when my son was born. When I was born, we lived in the flat. I had no carpet. We couldn't afford carpet. That's how financially broke we were. So that's where we're coming from. So fast forward now, they've got like multi-million-pound businesses. So it gave me hope, that has. And although my dad doesn't give me any financial help in my business, but in terms of having him as a mentor, that's priceless, man.
Yeah.
Priceless, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot about your business.
Yeah.
So I can't say that you inspire me in business yet, because I haven't been around. I've not seen how you manage your staff. I've not seen how you manage your thing.
Yeah.
You inspire me with your passion and the way that you talk, and even the posts that you put out on Instagram, your stories and stuff and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, this guy is incredible.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, I really do. Well, because I message you and I actually talk about it. There's not a lot of people, and I like the way that you interact as well. You'll interact with posts, and you'll do certain things where you get 6,000-7,000 people looking at your story, and 100 people will say something and the rest don't. And it's just I understand social media.
Yeah.
But why do you support so much? What is it about you that you want to always support? I mean, you didn't know me at one stage.
Yeah.
And you're still supporting.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Because I feel like you can't hate success. I feel like a lot of people hate success. And if you're jealous of successful people, you should, in fact, when you see a successful person, someone like yourself, you should be thanking them. Because I look at people and I get energy. Energy is transferable. And you are who you surround yourself with. You are. Show me. You must have heard the saying, "Show me your friends, I'll see your future."
I'm a massive.
It's mad.
I cut out family.
Yeah.
I've lost friends.
Yeah.
I've been through some shit.
Yeah.
Would I change it? Hell no.
Yeah.
Because there's no way I'll be sitting in this office talking to you today if I was still surrounded by the same people I was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
So I do know what you mean about it.
Exactly. Your network's your net worth, and you've got to celebrate success, man. It's so important.
America's mad.
Yeah.
Miami. America's
Exactly.
crazy. You see a guy driving down the street in a Lamborghini in America, and they pull up at the lights. Every car is out the window going, well done, amazing, can have a fuck. You pull down the street in a Lamborghini here, everyone goes, what a twat.
Yeah.
The mindset is do you think that's got anything to do with the sun or the weather?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we're just sad in this country because it's raining and cold, and you wake up and it's just like, oh my God, another day. But as soon as the sun's out in England, oh my God, it's the greatest place on earth. Because I genuinely think it's a lot to do with the weather.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
people's mindsets are down to the weather.
Yeah, it's mad. But you know what? I've always been like that. For as far as I can remember, it's funny because someone sent me this girl I went to school with. She sent me a post the other day, and she was like, it was this person like gassing someone up, and she was like, you know what, Shaun, this was you in school. And I was like, you know what? It's so true. And it shows I've always been like that. I've always been able. There's something about it. Well, it gives positive endorphins. So when you're celebrating someone else's success, it releases positive endorphins. That's why I smile a lot, because it's positive endorphins.
And
so
when you walk down the street and you're smiling,
yeah,
you're approachable.
yeah, 100%.
So when someone walks down the street and they just got no expression on their face, people just walk past.
100%.
But when you smile, everyone goes, "Hi, good morning."
Yeah,
and I've noticed it, because I started doing it the other day. I started just smiling and like having a bit more of a happier look on my face.
Yeah.
And people started interacting with me more. So yeah, what you put out is what you get back. So your dad, you said, role model, number one, top of the tree. Who inspires you?
Oh, there's loads of people. You inspire me.
Thank you.
What you've done is phenomenal, and what you've done in such a short space of time with the property circle is phenomenal. I listen to a lot of Grant Cardone.
I like Grant Cardone.
Yeah. He's like Marmite, but
I'm not
I love
a Gary
him.
V fan.
No, I'm not a Gary Vee fan either.
Can't take Gary V.
Yeah. No, same. I love Ed Milet.
Okay.
Ed Milet, his communication skills is unreal.
Not a lot of people know who that is.
Yeah. He's unreal. Grant Cardone, Ed Milet. I'm trying to think who else. They're my top two. Yeah, go to guys. Yeah,
so Alfred Sadie,
Yep.
who spoke at our first event.
Yeah.
He went to a Grant Cardone thing.
He did,
Did you see
yeah.
it? Absolutely unbelievable. He invested, I think, £25,000 of his own money into going over there to spend. That's priceless.
2 days, yeah. And a lot of people wouldn't do that.
No, a lot of people wouldn't do it because they don't understand the importance of being around these people.
100%.
Just sitting in a room with somebody who's successful, having a conversation for 10 minutes is priceless. Because you'll hear something, or they'll give you some inspiration, or they'll give you some motivation where you think, I want this. It's not even that. With that Grant Cardone thing that I saw, he was on a yacht at one stage with him. Me, I'd be on that yacht thinking, okay, I'm with Grant Cardone, but I want a yacht.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I need a yacht now. He's got a yacht. I've got to get a yacht. And the fact that you're on it with him, you'd just be like, I've got to get this.
100%.
But a lot of people wouldn't spend £25,000.
No, you got to invest in yourself. And it's mad because before I started before I got into the property world, it's not just a coincidence that, you know, I've made some level of success in the property world so far. I started other ventures, loads of other things back in the day, and they all failed. And the reason why they failed is because I was cutting corners. I was forgetting about the most important thing, the foundation to it all, myself, investing in myself. And that's the key to it. As soon as I start investing in myself and paying to be in the room, meeting new people, investing in myself, things started happening for me.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's a guy on TikTok and Instagram that's every single time I open this app, this guy's in front of me. His name's Tate.
Okay.
Do you know who this is yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, I'm going to show you after this. And he's a former kickboxing world champion. Completely out there. Have I got that right? He's a 4-time kickboxing world champion, isn't he? Yeah. These are the UFC guys. I have to just make sure everything's correct. Completely Marmite.
Yeah.
Says some of the most outrageous things I've ever heard. But it's all marketing. I guarantee when you meet this guy in real life, he's not that person. But he spent $5.4 million on a Bugatti.
Wow.
Unreal car, obviously. I'm a big car freak. Love my cars, but this is it's up there. And everyone was like, oh, wow, you bought an amazing car. You've got this. And he was like, I don't like the car. He was like, I bought the car because when you buy a Bugatti, you get invited to the networking dinners. And he's like, I bought that to be around other Bugatti owners because they will open doors that I can't open on my own. So he spent $5.4 million on a car. He said the car's amazing as well, obviously. He doesn't care about the car.
That's mad. What a way to look at it.
Yeah. And again, he's flipped it. So people look at him now driving that Bugatti, but they're not going to see when he goes to dinner with the other 10 Bugatti owners who are probably worth hundreds of billions. And he says, I've got an idea. And one person goes, I like you. How much do you need? You need $1 billion. Okay, there you go. So it is important to invest in yourself. I'm not saying go out and buy cars, guys, and you're going to get invited to dinners. But it is true. So when you do buy certain types of cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis and stuff, you get invited to experiences. You get given opportunities to go out on days out. I get emails all the time to go on days out with other car owners and stuff. It's a form of networking. But I've had to pay an extreme amount of money to get into them networks. But why wouldn't you take advantage of it?
Exactly.
It's important. So investing in yourself is key. It's seriously important. Foundations, which is good. How did you do at school?
Not good, actually. I left school with about 6 GCSEs, went to college for 1 year, and then decided it wasn't for me. I've always been quite a hands-on person. And then I had my son young as well, so I was only 19 when I had my son, which was a game changer for me because I wasn't really taking life seriously before that. I was always doing just enough. My school report used to always say, Shaun has the potential to be great, but he if he applies himself, he applies his mind. And I've always been the sort of person that when I set my mind to something, that's it. I'm tunnel vision, and I'm going to go for it. So when I had my son, I decided that, you know what, I've got to start taking life seriously now. That's it.
Do you believe that every single person has some greatness inside them? They just have to unlock it.
Yeah.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a big believer in it. I think we're all born for a reason.
Yeah.
And 1 out of a million find that reason. Maybe a few more, but I don't think everyone finds it. I think you have to work at it. And there's a process.
Yeah.
And once you unlock your potential, that's what you will be great at.
Yes.
That's what I believe.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to understand what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can focus on what your skills are and what your gifts are. So some people's gifts are speaking. Some people's gifts are making money, which is the one everybody wants.
Yeah.
Some people's gifts are walking in a room and lighting the room up, which is one of your gifts. Positivity, again, another one of your gifts. I'm just reading all your gifts up here. When you get that one and you know what you're good at, if you can hone in and focus all of your attention on that, that is how I believe greatness is achieved.
Game changer.
Game changer. Children, you said you've got 2.
Yep.
Was that completely life-changing? Like,
oh, man.
Flipped everything upside down?
Yeah, man. Like, everything I do is for them. I just want to give them the best start. I want to give them the world, man.
Do you spoil them?
I do, I do spoil them, but then at the same time, they're not spoiled. You know, like, they're not a sport brat, basically.
Yeah.
So I spoil them, but I want them to understand the value of money, understand the value of.
Give me an insight into this now, because this is a conversation I have with my Isabella all the time. Give me an insight into how do you do this now? The fine line of spoiling them, but also teaching them.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes I'll say to my son, I'll say, here's like a couple of pounds. I want you to go to the shop and maximise it and tell me like little things like that. So he's not just going to the shop and just say, oh, Dad, I want that. I said, actually, no, here's some money. You go and buy it, but you have a look. So just so they understand. And I teach him about property. He's very clued up about property, about managing tenants and things like that as well. So he understands about.
How old?
He's 11 now.
Okay.
Yeah, my daughter's 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're ready to bring him into the family business in the next few years. So when you say he understands it, how does he understand it? Explain.
He understands how to. He can literally go on Rightmove and find a property.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he want a job?
Sometimes what I do as well, if I've got a problem in the business, because in the holidays he comes to the office with me, and I will say, okay, look, Ty, this is the problem. Like, how would you solve this?
I love that.
Yeah. How would you solve this? And it gets him thinking different, and he's really passionate. He really enjoys it.
Yeah. Does that rubs off from you though, doesn't it? Obviously.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
So if you can show him that that's your passion.
Yeah.
And then imagine if you can get him to share that passion as you get older.
Oh, man,
and he doesn't go off track as he gets to 13, 14, like football, girls, boxing, whatever he does. Or boys. Don't know. Got to cater to everybody. But imagine if he did actually hone in on you and was like, Dad, I want this.
Yeah.
Would that make you proud?
Oh man, that's all I want.
Really?
That's all I want. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You know what I always say, because property it's a thing where I feel like everyone should do it. So I've already said to him already. I said, when you're older, you have to invest in property. You haven't got a choice. However, I'm not saying that you need to be a full-time property investor like me. You might want to be an actor. You want me to be, I don't know, whatever you want to do. But you need to have a backup plan. And I feel like property is going to be his backup plan.
Well, it's generational, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the longest standing way to wealth, I believe, there's ever been.
Yeah.
All the richest people in the world are on property.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something said about it, because if there was nothing in it, there's no way these guys who've got hundreds of billions be buying property all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
They'd just leave it. They'd be doing other things. But everyone results back to property.
Yeah.
Bill Gates owns more land in America than anybody. And Donald Trump's whole business is property. So it tells you something about it.
Yeah.
With your legacy Is it a legacy you want to achieve, or are you not that deep?
Yeah, legacy.
It is
100%.
So how are you going to go about achieving a legacy?
Okay,
It's a mad question, isn't it?
yeah, I'm just going to. I feel like legacy is not just the physical assets you leave, because as we all know, we when we're gone, we can't take none of it with us. I feel like a legacy is the impact you make on the world as well, and that's one of the reasons why I push content out. I put my quotes out and things like that, because one day I want my kids to be able to look at my Twitter account or look at my Instagram account and say, "Oh, look, this is what Dad done, and this was his thought. This is the way his mind thought about dealing with situations, and on how he spent his day, what he'd done on a daily basis. This was his way." So that's sort of me starting a legacy and leaving the legacy as well. Yep. I'm also going to do a lot of physical. So I've been involved in Rent2Rent for the last 4 years, and you know what? I've been tunnel vision to it because it's working. It's working really well for me. But I feel like towards the back end of this year, actually, I want to have a chat to you about as well. I want to start buying property and actually building wealth. Yeah. But for me, the first thing was get the cash flow up. I left my full-time job just before lockdown 2020, and then I've been doing it ever since. I've just been tunnel vision. The first target was to get to 100 rooms. We smashed through that. Now I've got a bigger team. 4 of my staff are employed within the last year. I'm actually my first member of staff, the head of operations. It's going to be his 1-year anniversary on the 1st of June.
Yeah, it's going to be doing his 1-year anniversary here soon. Sorry, Danny, it's already been that. Hasn't it? He hates it when I say
Was
that.
it?
Yeah, I got it wrong the other day. It's like, 1 year? Really? No, I'm not been here. No, yeah. It's important stuff like that.
Yeah, it's big.
So,
milestone.
I'm looking at him like this out of the corner of my eye. So, how many Rent2Rents? What rooms do you base it on? Rooms then, not
I base it on rooms. Yeah, it's around about 29 properties.
Okay,
that we've got. I mean, it's 160 rooms. Yeah.
That's incredible, isn't it? I might have to.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's incredible in such a short space of time as well.
Yeah.
So it's all about sustainability first.
Yeah.
Get the income. Make sure it's sustainable.
Yeah.
Grow organically.
Exactly.
But now it's time to start buying the assets.
Yeah.
Owning the assets.
Yeah.
Which I don't know whether you know this. I have a very dim view on Rent2Rent.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, and it's nothing at all against the strategy, because it clearly works.
Yeah.
For some people.
Yeah, 100. Especially because essays, rent to essay is much easier, by the way.
Of course it is.
I could go and get an essay tomorrow morning, today. Yeah. Literally that easy, but rent to HMO is a lot harder.
More money though.
Much more money, and it's more sustainable, I think.
Yeah.
Much more.
So my only problem with Rent2Rent is the contracts that you have with the landlords. Because I don't know of any contracts in this UK that if that person passes away, you still get that property. Yeah. Because if that person's got debts, your contract means zilch, nothing at all. I don't get it. So when I say to people, like, you're building a brand or a business based on someone else's assets, and there is certain circumstances that you cannot, you have no say, and everybody always says to me, "No, I have a death clause. No, I have a clause." What bank are you going to go to if someone passes away and say, "Oh, it's okay, I've got this contract here," and they're like, "Well, he owes me 100 grand," and you're going to be like, "No, it's okay, but I've got a contract." They're not going to let you take over the payment.
No, of course not.
So that is. And I think that's a massive misconception. I think since I've been started talking about these clauses in contracts and stuff, I don't think people realise that if someone passes away, there is nothing you can do. There is no contract in this law that stands where people can't go, "No, he owes money," unfortunately. If it's owned outright and it gets passed on to someone else, then the contract stands, because it's in a contract and you can have it written in a certain way. So that's my only reason I'm not a big fan of Rent2Rent. It's nothing else, because the strategy clearly works. I think Property by Kazzy's portrayed it for a very long time, that it worked for him at the beginning. You are super successful in it, and you can clearly see you're super successful in it. So everybody out there who's looking at getting into Rent2Rent, which I know there's so many people, I get messages all the time, give them a 30-second breakdown of why it's good and why it's bad. Okay,
it's good because it's quick cash flow. So what I mean by that is, so many good and bad reasons. I think
30 seconds is not enough, is it?
I know. Okay, it's quick cash flow. So for instance, I've taken on a property where I've got the keys. I've met the landlord on the Friday. I've got the keys on the Monday. Refurb the property within 2 weeks. It's cash flowing. Whereas obviously average property purchase probably like comes at 6 months, can't it?
4 to 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing, it's low risk as well. So what I mean by that is, if you buy a property and it doesn't work out, obviously you've got to sell the property. All my contracts have a break clause, 3 to 6 months, so you can pull out if it doesn't work. What's another big one? You're solving a problem as well. That's what I like about it. You're solving a problem for the landlord, and you're creating value. So the way I like to see it, and the way I explain to my staff when they start is, remember, you solve what problem you solve for the landlord. So a lot of the properties that we've taken on, they've been like empty for like 9 months sometimes. We take them on, we give them a guaranteed rent. That problem is now solved. The landlord's happy, and then we create the value by creating affordable houses and a home for the community.
Okay.
Yeah. Bad points.
I was about to say.
Bad points are, if the figures, if you don't stack it correctly, it's not going to run right. You can lose a lot of your profit. You're going to think average property we make is probably like £1,000, £800 to £1,000 per property. Now, but then that's if the property's full. So if one tenant leaves, then your profit margin's halved. Yeah. Also, as well, you don't own the asset, like you said. You do not own the asset. However, the other thing, when people say that you don't own the asset, yeah, it's true, but I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at, I've got this property for the next 5 years. For the next 5 years, I'm going to make at least probably 40 grand from this property minimum. So that's what I'm looking at. And also, you've got the business. So if I wanted to sell the business today, that the business is an asset, so I could sell the business.
Yeah. Once you show it's running for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the contracts are worth what they're worth, aren't they?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Good breakdown of Rent2Rent. We're not going to have a rant about it. We're not getting into it. But maybe I'll spend the day with you.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come to your offices and see how it's run and do a whole video to show people some bits and pieces about it.
That'd be good.
I've done a couple. Right then. Thank you very much. Massively appreciate you coming on. I know people are going to get a lot of energy and positivity from you, and a lot of people are going to take a lot away from this because your mindset's fantastic.
Appreciate it.
Again, your energy's amazing, and your business is incredible, really. When you think about what you've achieved in 2 years, it's fucking awesome.
Thank you.
It's not like no one like me who says I don't like Rent2Rent. I'm not going to put you down ever, but yeah, you know what you're doing, and you have it down to T. So thank you very much for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Guys, there's another Steve's Corner, 30 minutes finished, and I will see you soon.
Thanks, man. What do you guys think?
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Good, wasn't it?
Thank you.
It's good because it was mostly based around Rent2Rent, and we haven't had that yet.
No.
Yeah.
You want to do the weekly?
No, I just have the one done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Another one.